Welcome back, guys. In this video, let's learn about labor demand in the case when the product market is not competitive. In the case of perfectly competitive market, when the product market and also when the input market, both of them are perfectly competitive, it's easy to set the optimal condition for the labor demand. But how about when the product market is not competitive? So it means when the firm operate in a monopoly market, which the firm has a market power on prices. So the firm can set its own prices for the output. The firm can change its prices in order to change their output sales level. For example, by reducing the price level, firm can sell more. Or by increasing the price level, firm want to sell less. So how we can set the optimal level of labor demand in this kind of market? So in this kind of market, which the firm are price maker, but still the firm demand the labor from the perfect competitive input market. So again, they are wage taker, but only price maker. So when a firm or price maker, when a firm is a price maker, the profit maximization condition implies that marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue but less than price level. Because monopolies set the price level higher than the marginal revenue in order to have a positive profit. Because the profit maximization condition for the perfect competitive firm is that the profit is equal to zero. But in monopoly market, there is a positive profit. So then the price will be more than the marginal revenue that you generate from selling your output. But when firm is a wage taker in the perfect competitive labor market, then the profit maximization condition in this input market implies that the marginal revenue product of labor should be equal to the marginal expense of labor, as we have the same in the case of both perfect competitive labor market and output market. So here we know that from the previous videos, the marginal revenue product of labor is equal to marginal revenue multiplied by marginal product of labor. And marginal expense of labor is equal to the nominal wage, or W. The similar in the case of perfect competitive market, we have that marginal revenue is equal to the price. Because in the perfect competitive market, the profit maximization condition from the output perspective is that the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost is equal to price. Is equal to price level. So for this formula, instead of marginal revenue for the perfect competitive market, we can just plug in P. Then P multiplied by marginal product of labor is equal to nominal wage rate. And when we set up in terms of real wage rate, which is W over P, we just divide both sides by P, because now P is marginal revenue. Then marginal product of labor in the perfect competitive market is equal to real wage. But in case of when the output market is non-competitive, then we cannot set up this one because P is greater than marginal revenue. So in order to find out the real wage rate, again we divide both sides by P. So then here, because marginal revenue is not anymore equal to price, then this side will be equal to marginal revenue over price multiplied by marginal product of labor and is equal to the real wage rate. So as we know that from that formula, which P is greater than marginal revenue, then this inequality implies that the marginal revenue over price should be less than 1. Because now this P is more than the marginal revenue, then this expression will be less than 1. So in order to this equality hold, the marginal product of labor should be greater than real wage rate. Because the marginal product of labor is less than real wage, so this equality will not hold. So the only this equality will hold when the marginal product of labor is greater than real wage rate. How much? It depends on this one. How much? It's less than 1. As much this marginal revenue, this ratio is close to 1, then marginal product of labor will be close to real wage rate. As much as this one is more less than 1, this marginal product of labor will be more than real wage rate. So in this case, when we draw the labor demand curve, the x-axis is labor, the amount of labor, the y-axis is the real wage rate when we draw in terms of real wage rate. So based on this condition that we have here, based on this condition, B implies that in perfect competitive input and output market, the labor demand should satisfy this condition. Marginal product of labor should be equal to real wage rate. If this curve shows the marginal product of labor, so then the demand for the labor in the perfect input and output market will be this point, which is both marginal product of labor. When this show marginal product of labor, this marginal product of labor should be equal to the wage rate in this point. Should be equal to the wage rate in this point. But the demand, when the non-competitive output market exists, this expression should be satisfied, or this one. This is the optimal condition, which marginal product of labor should be more than real wage rate. So the demand for labor for the monopoly market is the labor amount that the marginal product of labor should be higher than WP. For example, this point, when the demand for labor is LM for the monopoly market, it means the marginal product of labor is in this point, but the real wage in this point. That means that the marginal product of labor here, the marginal product of labor is greater than real wage rate, W over P. And how much this difference exists between labor demand in both input and output perfect competitive market and also an output non-competitive market, it depends on how much this expression is less than 1. If this is close to 1, so this gap is not too much. If this is more far away than 1, so then this gap will be more. So therefore, when we draw the labor demand for the non-competitive output market, so the labor demand will move from this point. The labor demand will move from this point. So the labor demand for the non-competitive output market lies below the labor demand when both product and input market is competitive. So what does it mean? It means that when a firm operates in the non-competitive output market, employ less labor than when the firm operates in both perfect input and output competitive market. So the employment level for the monopoly is less than the employment level for the perfect competitive labor market. For this video, I think this is the end. Hope to like this video in order to the YouTube algorithm introduce our videos to other audiences, and also subscribe to make me happy too, and also share your comments. If you have any questions, just write down below. I will try to answer in the next videos. See you next time.